Do you need a lot of supplies to get better at art? Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and I'm here to tell you that no, you do not. You can improve with your artwork with what you have or with very inexpensive supplies. And this video, I'm gonna tell you how and hopefully encourage you no matter where you are in your art journey or how many supplies you have. If you're just getting started, hopefully this will encourage you to create and not worry about having the latest and greatest. And I know how ironic that sounds because I've got so many supplies around me, but please know you don't need to have a lot to really get good at art. So the first thing I would suggest if you're looking to improve as an artist or even get started as an artist and you have absolutely zero budget would be pencil drawing. And you probably have a pencil around your home, you probably have some paper that you can draw. If not, you can pick up an inexpensive sketchbook and just some regular pencils. You don't have to have a full set of drawing pencils. You can start with a regular old #2 pencil, which is actually an HB pencil. It's not too hard, not too soft. You can blend. You can definitely work on your drawing, and you can use a simple eraser to erase out highlights or erase mistakes if you need to. But the main point I'm getting to is that if you want to get better at drawing, just draw. Draw anything around you. If you are at home and you don't have a car and you don't have any public transportation, you're stuck at home, draw what's around you. Draw what's on your shelf. Draw, your breakfast. Draw the corner of your room. Look at the window. Draw something. Just draw. If you have a pet, draw your pet. That's a great thing to draw because they never stand still, especially when you're trying to draw them. So you'll get really quick. So that would be my #1 piece of advice is if you want to get better, start with drawing. Drawing is the foundation of most of your art career, honestly. If you're going to be a painter, if you're going to do anything in a realistic style, you need to be a good draftsman. So drawing is going to pay off. That is the investment that you make in your art that pays off more than anything else, is learning to draw and drawing and practicing your drawing. It's just like with any sort of exercise, you're going to get stronger the more you do it. The next thing I would recommend would be using a limited palette. So if you do want to branch out into watercolors, pastels, acrylics, oils, whatever, choose a limited palette. So if you were going to do pastels, I would start off with an earth tone palette, like the Conte set of 12. It's all like browns and grays and black and white. You can get all your tonal values there. You're drawing, you're building on the drawing skills, but you're starting to add more depth. You're adding a little bit of color, and those colors are also light fast. So if you happen to sell one of those pieces, you don't have to worry about them being fading, and then you can buy some more supplies with your seed money. If you're going to do watercolor, you could do a limited palette of, say, Hansa Yellow, Phthalo Blue, and Quinacridone Rose, and you could mix pretty much anything from those colors. A split primary palette's better, but if you are on like the strictest budget, you can get actually a good quality version of those 3 paints. They're light fast, they are going to serve you well, and again, if you sell anything you've made with it, then you can buy more supplies. The great thing about that is it's really going to teach you color theory, because you're going to have to be really good at mixing colors to make those 3 colors work as your only colors, because you would mix all 3 together in different ratios to make browns and grays. You would mix the primaries together to make your secondary and tertiary colors. So you would get really good at color theory, and you can't buy that. You can buy a big set of paints and not have to mix colors, but it's much better to know how to mix colors, and that would get you there. And it would teach you how to mix colors faster than having a large selection of paints. If you were going for like oils or acrylics, you probably want white and maybe a burnt umber, and then your 3 primaries, whatever you like. Maybe you might prefer a more natural palette and go with like the Zoran palette, go with like an ultramarine blue, a cadmium red deep, and a yellow ochre, or you could go with more vibrant colors, more modern colors. Whatever your style is, whatever your aesthetic is, you could go with those primaries. And I would do like a burnt umber, because you can mix that with blue, ultramarine blue, to make a black, and because you could really go through a lot of paint trying to mix your browns and oils and acrylics. I think, in my opinion anyway, I think those 5 colors would really suit you well. And then of course, you could add in the sap green, or you could add in whatever colors you feel you're lacking once you get some more funds. But those, again, going to teach you color theory. It's going to teach you how to mix color, and then when you have the funds to go for more, you can start off with light, fast, professional colors that aren't going to fade, that will serve you well. And you don't even have to go to the super expensive brands. Like for oil paints, I really like Winton, and they are like the and actually some people consider them artist grade. They're not the professional grade from Winsor & Newton, but I think they're a really solid paint, and you can find them in most big box stores. So I like that about that product. Winsor & Newton's pretty easy to find everywhere. And recycling, that's another way you can make art without spending any money. You can look through your recycling bin. You can find cardboard for cardboard sculpture. You can find different things to use in assemblage. Now, keep in mind, these things are not going to be acid free. They are going to be more experimental, but you can create. You can learn how to build things by cutting cardboard. You can learn how to put things together and get your point across that you're trying to make. Maybe you're an environmental artist and you want to work with found objects and recycled objects. They don't need to last forever. Maybe you want them to break down. You know, that's your prerogative. And look in your recycling bin. Look at what you're about to throw away. See if there's anything that you can repurpose. Can you wash out the eggshells and maybe dye them with food coloring and do mosaics with them? I think about the type of projects that we would do for school projects or for recycling projects at school, things like that you would do with children. You can elevate those types of projects for your own art. The point is to be resourceful, and I think that's one reason why artists are so creative, especially the starving artist, is because they've had to be resourceful to get the materials they need to make their art. So don't let not having the funds be an excuse for not doing your art. If you're a painter, I mean, look, Jackson Pollock used house paint, used latex paint, stuff that any, serious artist would say, never paint with those. They're not archival. They're not going to last forever. They're going to fall apart. Well, his paintings are worth millions and they're still hanging on the walls and they're fine. Anything can be restored if it needs to be. So don't let that excuse keep you from making art. And that is an excuse I hear a lot. Like, I can't do that. I don't have the money. I can't create. I don't have the money. Do you have a pencil? Can you find a piece of paper? Even if it's a cardboard box, tear off that cardboard and paint on it. Draw on it. Be resourceful. Every piece of artwork doesn't have to stand the test of time. If you are investing in products that you want to stand the test of time, keep with a limited palette and learn to mix your colors. And it's going to serve you so much better than starting off with everything you want. Trust me. Because having too much can also be a little limiting too, because you get overwhelmed and you get frustrated trying to choose what you're going to work. I know, first world problems. Play me a song on the tiniest violin in the world. I know. Such a hypocrite. But I just want to give you some ideas on how you can create on a budget, even if that budget is next to zero. And of course, it goes without saying, use what you have. The best supplies that you can use right now are what you already have in your art box or in your studio or what you can find in the junk drawer. Use what you have and add to your stash when it makes sense to, when you see that product's going to add value and it's going to make your other products more useful and not just repeat and duplicate what you already have. So I hope that's helpful. I know it probably sounds I don't know what the word is. I know, because I have a lot of supplies. It probably sounds like you're telling me how to create. Look at all the stuff you have. Yeah, I totally acknowledge that. I get it, but I didn't always have a lot of supplies, and I had to be resourceful. So hopefully that advice will help you. I hope. I want to help you. That's what I'm here for. And for free resources, you can find lots of videos on YouTube on anything you want to learn. You can go to the library. You can check out books. I often will check out a book before I buy it. If you're an adult learning how to draw, I recommend Betty Edwards' Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. I think that's really good for first-time drawers who are adults. For some reason, that seems to really, I think it's logical enough to appeal to an adult, but it has some really good exercises that will kind of switch over from your analytical left side of the brain over to the right side of the brain. Kids don't really need that switch. They're automatically, ready to jump in and just enjoy the process. But adults need that little bit of a switch to happen, I think. Otherwise, everything you ever wanted to know about watercolor, I think it's by Laura Appeloff. That's a great one. My local library has it. So see if your library has it too. That's a really great technique book. But, go get lost in the stacks, flip through some books, see what you can find. Checking out books from the library is free as long as you return them on time. And of course, all the free resources on the internet. Try not to get too lost searching, and don't let that be an excuse for not doing, because watching a video is not the same as doing a painting, and reading a book is not the same as doing a painting. You have to put the work in, but there are a lot of free resources now that can get you really a long ways in your art journey. And going outside and painting when the weather is nice, that's another great way to observe, hone your observation skills, and get faster with your work, and just get you where you want to go. It'll help you make art when the funds are low, and it'll help you to enjoy it, which is what I want. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any tips on how you save money creating, let us know in the comments below. Everybody will love to benefit from that. And that's where I will talk to you later in the comments. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.